Well, actually, I had maybe two different reasons why, because I technically took the exam twice. I actually took it once back in 2011 and then more recently in 2022. So my first reason was at the time in 2011, I was brand new to the industry. I had just moved from quality to regulatory, and it was suggested by my manager as a way to learn, a way to learn what I'm getting into and how I can improve my skills. And at the time, I had only been in regulatory for like 6 months, so I really didn't have any personal knowledge or history whatsoever. So then, I took it at that time, and of course, I didn't pass yet. So then, a decade basically passed, and then here we are again. And my I spoke to my like executive management at my company, and one of the things they mentioned was, have you ever considered taking, the RAC exam? Well, actually, I have. And they thought that now I'm at a different place in my career, been for over a decade in regulatory, and I thought it would be a good way to show my knowledge base, and how that can improve, the way I work here in the company. So I decided to take it again. So I think the first time around, I definitely probably spent more time studying than this time, because I just knew so little myself. I purchased the books and read them like I was a college student again, reading through, highlighting, taking my notes. And I think what I also tried to do was to take the practice exam as well. So those are my two forms of studies: was reading the book, the fundamentals book for the year, particularly highlighting on the drugs, because that's what I was looking for the drugs, as well as then taking the practice exams repeatedly, because we take them over and over again, and the questions do change. So that also helped as a secondary form of studying. I would say total amount of time, not as much as I had wanted. I probably started and stopped a few times, and in earnest, I would probably say maybe a total of a month of studying, and that would be like on the weekends each month, maybe 2 or 3 hours in each session. Um, but that last weekend right before was like like crash session of all the reading over again. Yes, I think there's some more material benefits, and then more, I don't know if immaterial is the right word, but I would say pretty much right away, because I was taking the exam on the recommendation of some executive management at my company. Then, when the next kind of promotion round came around, that really did count a lot towards them looking at it, giving me a promotion. So I know, of course, it's not the only thing that's being looked at, but it does show a great effort that you're putting into yourself and also into your organization. So I feel that it was one of the components that helped me with my next promotion. And then in the other, like, more immaterial way, I would say that it also gives you personally a lot of confidence as well. That it's Yes, I've had a decade of experience and plus, and I've met a lot of people and done a lot of work. So I know that I do know some things, but that, sometimes you can feel a little bit like you lack confidence, or that not wanting to speak up because there's others in the room that you feel may know more than you. But after taking and passing, and then hearing so many people give you their experience of maybe not passing or having such a hard time even with the practice exams, it helps to give you more self-esteem as well, so that when you're just living your regular work life every day and people are bringing things up, you have a little more confidence to speak up and to share your opinion, that you do have a valuable opinion. You do actually know what you're saying, because you can feel that you've validated that. Okay. My advice is that if you're thinking about it, then most likely you already have a knowledge base that's probably greater than you think. So the first step that I would take, that I took, was to take the practice exam, because it's a low cost, low barrier of entry, and I think it gives you a very immediate answer as to how close are you. So if you take that exam and you're coming in already like at a 60 or so, you're very close to passing already without having studied anything. And the exams also give you a breakdown of which questions you got right and wrong and what areas to study in. So I think that's a great like barometer to set of how realistic is this goal for this year, or is this going to be a potential future goal for me? And then based off of that, then decide, where do you think this fits into your future goals? Maybe it's something that's actually a lot closer and within reach than you think. It's just going to take taking a few more practice exams and studying a little for a few more months. Um, and also, I think once you make that decision, once you've chosen that, all right, this is what I'm going to do, I think signing up and actually paying for a date is another important step, because I think I kind of diddled around for a while thinking I'm going to do it the next time, I'm going to do it the next time. And then without having the pressure of, actually paying for the exam, it becomes easy to say, oh, well, I'll do it the next spring. I'll do it the next session, right? But eventually, when you just pull the plug and say, no, I'm going to pay for it, then that, of course, imposes that pressure that now I do have to study. I can't just push it off anymore. So I think first evaluate where you're at. You're probably closer than you think. The exams itself, I think, is less textbook memorization than you might expect. And I think you'll see that in the practice exams, that the questions are really more application. How would you actually apply this in your real life as a real regulatory professional? So taking more of those exams, repeating them, studying up on the questions that you didn't get right, and then seeing how close are you? Are you getting better as you take the next ones? Is it becoming easier to remember and to understand? And then biting the bullet, making that decision, paying for the exam, and that will kind of give you as well that positive peer pressure to just bear down and study for it.